Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe and this is Transport Fever 2, formerly Rail to 1 billion challenge. I had a billion at one point, but now we're at about 60 million left from the last episode. Had to let it run for a while, tried to look at the lines, and well, they don't all make money. I had to remove a couple of stragglers and other things, but the main thing is this thing has a lot of traffic. Too much traffic, to be precise. So much traffic, in fact, that this is not working. We have now 4 different lines coming in here. One is just the main line with the big boy. Actually, sorry, 4 plus 2. So 4 separate tracks coming in, all funneling into one track, and that's just not working. I have an idea of what we can do here to make this swift, efficient, and simply better, and I hope I can actually put that into action. I understand that I redid this junction just last week. Yeah, I get that. And I was thinking, well, apparently I didn't do it well enough, so I should do it again, which would make sense. And then the question was, should I just do it by myself, or should I let you guys watch it and maybe come up with something really glorious and something that's, I don't know. And then I realized, well, that's what this whole season is about. Like, if you don't like what I do, you probably don't watch. And if you like what I do, you probably want to see what I'm going to do here, because this is really the part that I appreciate. And I said that before, but this is getting complicated. The trains are just stacking up behind here. I had trains, several trains waiting here very often. Right now we have one train there. We have one train here. Yeah, I did put those oil trains together. We have a train here, so 3 trains sitting right there. Doesn't sound like a lot, but every time your train slows down, you're losing money. Literally, especially if you play on hard. I'm not going to change this to easy. I don't even know if I can. Probably if I mess around with the in-game settings somewhere. But so there were 3 trains sitting there. There's one sitting here. There's one about to come in right there. Let's see. There's one. Is this going in or out? You're coming out. You're probably going to block me. There is one of the main trains coming in. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. That is awesome. It's just not working fast enough, and I am not willing to say that it's because we have a way too big station over here with 20 lines coming in. That can't be the problem. So yeah, no, I'm going to let you watch it because it's fun, it's great, and it's exactly what I want to do. How are we going to do this? I think we're going to stick with 2 outs and run these as far as I can. Honestly, I will probably continue them from here because I will try to make them a little more optimized, because there are at least 2 trains that go to the right here. Let's actually check. It's really important that we do understand what's going on here. Okay, there's only 1 train going to the right. Got it. There are 2 trains coming over this bridge. That's not a lot, but then, yes, there's a lot going out right here. Different places for different reasons. Oh, I did change this, that the outside trains actually staying over here and the mainline train can cut through the middle here, so we don't have as much extra traffic that we don't want to deal with. So we see all these lines, and honestly the best thing will be to just split this up in separate lines and give them more room to play without having a single line per route, per line. Single track, that's the word, without having single track per line, because I understand that that is the easiest way to make all of this work, but I'm not excited about that. It doesn't tickle my fancy. I just, that's not how railroads are built, and this is not a realistic railroad simulator by far, by any stretch of the imagination, but I do like the challenge of making all of this work, and at this point, the intercity train is actually working really, really well, and I got most of the cargo trains off of the intercity line, so they're all running at a pretty good speed. I am paused here right now because it's very easy to get into debt. I let this run and something was stuck because I made a train a little longer, and I was in 2 billions of debt within like 15 minutes. So once this network doesn't run anymore, we have a real problem. So I don't want to run into that, which is why we're just going to start from right here. Yeah, we have at least 4 tracks coming in here, and I will try to justify all of them. Maybe, is it 4? It may be 6. I'll figure that out. But all of this has to move over again. Sorry, but big buildings, you will cost me a little bit of money, but needs must. And honestly, we may be able to keep stuff here, but first we have to figure out how many tracks do we have to add to the station. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably 5, 6 for these, and give them a chance to actually be on the outside and like separate tracks that can go in and out on that side. So a total of 6 tracks to what we have right now. Should I check that that actually fits in here? Because 6 tracks is not an easy feast. So let's see here. We are right here. I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Well, you see that? It just fits. That's all we want. So we're going to move this over. And no, this one I'm not going to make you sit through. But we will have to readjust the stuff over here because the way I have it set up right now seems to not run smoothly enough. And once we have 6 entry tracks, we should not merge those entry tracks back together again. We should actually have 6 separate entries to this large, well, 5, because 1 is an exit track. We should have... Ooh, and the exit tracks could actually be really on the outside here and use the outside 2 tracks and then just go around the station here. That could work. We could put two exit tracks in between here instead of putting everything in the middle. I kind of like that. So we'll split up the passenger station a little bit, but we have the cargo trains that go through here actually connect to the correct places. That will be great. I love it. All I have to do is make sure that those 2 trains are somewhere out here that they actually connect to the outside track here, and that will be awesome. Yeah, we're going to do exactly that. What does that mean? What does that translate to? That translates to you go. We're going to put a lot of track here and a lot of other things, and I'm just going to use this middle piece as our guiding guide. Yes. And I'll try to explain it. So we'll add the 2 tracks here. Those 2 tracks will be through tracks for the train that goes up, the cargo train that goes up to this iron ore mine and also to the oil refinery. And they will stay off of the rest of our network at that point. That's great. Then we have to make sure that we have the passenger platform where they belong. If I change all of this, I could technically put the passenger platform in the middle of all of these, then the passenger trains could stay there, but I do want to keep a passenger building out here. That's just the road connection that I want, so it wouldn't look as pretty. So I think we're just going to do this. Great. Then I did the math, and we need four extra tracks that just stay out here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 tracks are just the tracks that will connect to these 4 tracks that come in here. That's all they are, nothing else. And after that, we just pretty much copy what we have going on over here already, which is first a passenger station. And honestly, I think I will not copy this exactly. I may just leave it either empty or do something else with it because I don't like the double passenger station right here. But that should be fine. So I have a passenger station there, then have effectively, then have that track. This is the passenger, the inner city line that comes through. Then we need 1 more platform because the cargo station is a little too wide. So this will go here. The cargo station will come right here. So now this becomes a copy of what's in this corner where my mouse is. And then we need the other 2 tracks to be on the outside of this again. And I don't think it would be terrible to have 3 outside tracks here. I mean, why should I shortchange myself? Give myself 4, and if I can combine them later on, that will be fine. Obviously, I can't do 4 because I can only do 3, because that's as wide as the station is going to go. But this is the size of the station. Talked my way through that pretty well, didn't I? Can I really not put a building at the end here? I think the game is telling me that all I can get here is 2 tracks on the outside. If I want to get more, I would have to do something more drastic, and I really don't want to do that. So there you go. Now I'll put a cargo station or a cargo building there, cargo thing there. Here's the thing, street. If the street is my problem, we're going to remove the street. But yeah, if you let me actually build it there, that will be fine. Yeah, if I don't have to remove the street there, if I can just get some extra track in here without having to destroy everything, I'll be totally fine with that. What we're going to do now is pretty simple. Just remove everything that we no longer need, which is a lot, and then I'm going to complete the look of this whole thing. Give me a sec. Yeah, that wasn't that bad. If you look at it, it could have been a lot worse indeed, I think. Yeah, no, the restructuring here really just, we added the 4 tracks here. There's the 1 track that ends right here. I will expect them to come in this way. Oh, at some point I've added this bridge. You're gonna go, because that's not gonna work. Or maybe a tunnel here, and there's no way whatever stands here is going to be left there right now, because we need this whole thing for train tracks, rail tracks. So that should be nice. Let's take this all back a little bit and then start reconfiguring at least this side, because you have to start somewhere. Well, honestly, knowing me, I will probably do it wrong the first time anyways, so I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Why is that tree like right where I need to look? There you go. Thank you. So the entry for the Inner City Express is somewhere over here. The white track is that one, I believe. Good. Cool. And then we'll just do the exact same thing as before, where this is just a long drawn curve that can just connect to there. Beautiful, don't you think? Yeah, me too. Okay, the next one, we are going to expand this to just to double check that the tracks that we already have in the station are just going to continue out this way. That means this piece of track will come off the outside of the track, not the inside of the track anymore. So that should be fine. That also means the tunnel that I had here at some point connecting is now going to be its own tunnel. Looks like this. That all looks pretty good, honestly. And then you can go straight in there. Actually at a pretty good speed. I like that. Again, this one has to connect to this guy somehow. And if that bridge looks somewhat acceptable, that connection. Yep. I don't like how the cables get automatically set in this game, but hey, you can't have everything all the time. But honestly, that looks pretty good. We have a nice big tunnel that has a lot of stuff going on. Love it. That also means we don't have to worry about separating these anymore. What we do have to worry about later on is optimizing the different lines that they actually take, or that they actually go to platforms that can reach all the places that they have to reach. That'll be a little complicated. We'll see how bad it is when we're done with this and how many things I have to fix, but for right now, I feel pretty good about this. There's still going to be supposed to be a bridge over here when we're done with that, but we'll see if that's really the case, or if we're going to do something more, a little more dramatic there when we get to it. Anyways, I'm actually pretty happy with this layout right now so far, because it's pretty clean, I would say. Come on. No. I know there's a traffic light there, but that's not really what I want. I guess you're just coming in from that side. No problem. Cool. Get you in here, and then the last one can go in autosave. Don't make me nervous here. We'll be fine. So not all of these are evenly distributed or evenly necessary, but that's fine. That's fine. We can figure it out. I do know that this piece of track is no longer needed. I know you didn't see that last time I did it, because I realized that I needed that when I placed the signals. But hey, showmanship, YouTube magic, call it whatever you want. But there you go. We needed that. Now, these tracks will have to connect to what's going on over here in just a second. Let's even this out a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. We do have to get a crossover in here that makes sense. Luckily, actually we don't. We don't need a full crossover here. All we need is this side to connect to here, and then use the same snap point to have this side connect to here. Is that the same snap point? It is. Very good. Wow. What did I do there? That was pretty terrible. Cool. So they get in here, and then this train or this track can just use the junction that already exists at this point. Sure. Don't have to make this complicated, and hopefully it doesn't look too hideous right here. It does look hideous. What you want to do is keep the same gradient as what's going on here. Sometimes it makes running the track a little harder, but it's generally better to look at than the alternative. I don't like what it's doing here. I don't like it at all. So we have an alternative for this. If you're not sure what the actual grade is, you can run this more parallel to it. Just have this type of junction. It's a little slower, 100% always, but we should be able to make this work. Let's see, if I get you there, if I get you here, and pull you out this way, how do we feel? That is not perfect, but it's pretty smooth for what we need here. So like that. Take this beast back just a little bit and then have a turn that's about 120. Perfect. That's all we need. That's all we can ask for the short piece of track right here. Cool. I should do myself a favor and complete at least part of this track before I continue any further, because these pieces of track are already defined where they have to go. I just have to actually use it. So again, this is the passenger track that just has to cross over here and here. Because it's not a turnaround station, we don't need a full crossover. That should be good. And then the outside track is whatever connects out here. And I do believe at this point, those two tracks are already connected to those two delivery routes. I think we're going to keep that. We're going to keep this, and this will just be the connection route for those trains, and they can do whatever they need to on this line. I'm pretty okay with that. That's purple. Where's purple going? Is purple? No, purple is the passenger line. Interesting. Oh, yeah, they're just not going to the right platform, but I guess... should I fix that right now? Yeah, I should fix that right now. First platform is over here. Win oil supply, manage line. In H1 East, I want you... Actually, can you fix this up automatically? You can. Yep, I want you to go to 2. Perfect. I may even split out these stations because trains here are going both ways. I'm actually going to do that right now because I think that looks a lot better. Just right in the middle, put a piece of nothing there. And for my intents and purposes, I'm just going to put 2 passenger platforms here. They're not really going to be used for anything, but that should be fine. Now back up to what was going on here. Make sure that that line is still doing what it's supposed to do. I mean, you're going a little long now. What is it? 4? 4 is the short one. Perfect. Yep. Now we can have trains parking on both sides, and those trains are relatively short, and if the length is not good enough, then we're just going to extend that. That's not really a problem. Cool. First one fixed. Second one that we have to fix comes from out here, and as long as I do this, well, while I'm breaking everything, life should be relatively easy. You're already going to the right place. I just need you to go to the right platform, which is... I don't want you to go to the exact same platform, so how about you try 5 instead? 5 is over here, is already a terminal, and if we look into the terminals, wrong one, if we look into the terminals here, we have 2 on 5, so that's not really going to work. I would like you to go on maybe terminal 2, is that smart? Oh, terminal 2 is also a short one on that side. Actually, 5, yeah, the iron delivery can just go on 2, and that's then on the outside here. I think that will actually look really nice. I forgot that the, what's it called? That the platform here is split on both sides, not just on one side, but this honestly looks fine. They're not terminal stations, but they're not going to go all the way through, so they're actually going to be a little faster, and I like where that's heading. Okay, so far we have spent 10 million on nothing. We have not accomplished a single thing. So keep that in mind. But we have to remember, 1, to drink water, very important, and 2, that these are 2 exit trips. How are we going to get everyone to these exit connectors? I have no idea. I have really no idea. There is a fifth track right here. This is also a connector that also has to connect to the outside of, well, it has to be an in and an out, period. And ideally, it just stays on the inside track here. It doesn't cross any of the other tracks. So we should be able to fix that. At this point, I have to think. I have to think. I have to think. The thing is that I'm thinking of, that the tracks that we have are not terrible. They're not terrible at this point. We just don't have all the train connections that we can have here. So what I should do is give myself some connections and then pretty much just extend the entrance, because right now everything is going either on this track or on this track, and then it's spreading out to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 11 platforms. So we should just split that in half. So let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that should be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to split right here. That's going to be our centerpiece, and this is going to be a different track that will connect to these guys. The track that we have here can still stay together, but 1, 2, 3, 4. This one. Beautiful. This will be one track, and the next one will be a different track, and we can easily figure that out. We do have four tracks to work with, and honestly, that should be a good thing, not a bad thing. We just have to make sure later on that they're all actually are connected in a way that makes sense for everything that we will need to do down the road. So, okay, take all of these back a little bit. I am hoping that I don't have to take down this whole tunnel, because that will be annoying, but should be fine. There's a piece of track there. How weird. Okay, so this is the first track. Why don't I just connect this one up to the first piece right here? Yeah, they don't have to run right next to each other with the parallel track out here, but that's fine. If I remember right, this track is the train that or is the 2 lanes that come from here. So that should be relatively easy. The next track over, this is the mainline track. And it's actually really lucky that it is where it is. I didn't actually expect this. But I don't hate having it set up this way, that it comes out just a tiny bit. I would like you to be a little more flat, but I understand. Oh, you can't be flat because that is a... well, the mountain comes down not from a flat area. Where is the train? The train is standing right here, which means this is the last exit, no, the last entrance track that I have to cover here. So let's do that. And to go down just a little bit. Yeah, I think just a tiny bit will be good. Will be good for us. Then let's smooth this out. Should help. Getting a nicer looking connection on all of what's going on here in just a second, and then we should be good. That feels nice. And now these, all we need to do is just get them a decent enough connection. Should be easy enough to get these in. Usually I do it from the other side, but every once in a while it's nice to start from here because they usually are a little smoother. But I think my angle is a little wrong to make this really smooth. Try this again. Yeah, we're just going to use that. And this one can connect into this piece, hopefully. Nope, you know what? I'm going to start it from the other side because it's much easier to connect from like a little spine. So this one should be fine, relatively easy. The next one will start right at the end, the first snap point that I can get, and that should be really close to sticking to get. Wow. No. No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. We're going to do this organic, very organically. Get you in here. There you go. That's much better. Yeah, that piece of track that almost laid down there looked really, really ugly, and I was not a fan. Let's get this one out here. a decent speed. As long as it's snapped to the track right next to it, it should look attractive enough. Especially for my channel, because I'm not really a person that builds this very pretty. Get that one out there. Now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I miscount? I probably miscounted, and if I did, I'm not going to redo everything. Sorry about that. I get you out here. That's good. And yeah. Well, you don't want to play ball, do you? This one comes here. And, oh, this is good. This track is already an out track. It's not an in track, so we don't actually want this one to connect. Same with this guy. Those two can stay exactly where they are right now. Which means all of these are out tracks. Are in tracks. They're in tracks, and these are in tracks too. Got it. So that has to be the next connection. These two have to get to the exit tracks somehow, and there is a potential to throw a tunnel in here that goes below what we're doing. No, there isn't really. The problem is that everything that's going on here, you can barely see anything, I get it. Everything that's going on here is already on the same level, and they're all snapped to each other. So if I would turn any of these into a tunnel, it would probably potentially look really, really ugly. So a thing that I could try is move some of the track out further, or even keep it on this side and then move the two out tracks up and over, and run a quick bridge over here and then come down, or make a tunnel, or because this is on a slight elevation, just start a tunnel really, really early. Where's the earliest I could start a tunnel? I think, so these two are the tracks that we're talking about. I could turn these into a bridge or a tunnel right away, and I honestly think that is the best idea that I've had in a while. So let's take the, wow, these are short pieces of track. Let's take these back, and these tracks just have to be connected to from that side, which honestly won't be a huge deal. So I'm going to do that. I think you know exactly what I'm going to do here. Okay, that's pretty close to what I want. It is probably not exactly high enough as I need it to be, but it's pretty close, and that makes me think it will be just fine. I do have to check what the other exit is. It looks like it's just the outside track, and that's all we have to connect to once we get this out here, so I can just remind myself of that by pulling those out. But now all the other tracks that we see here, plus the 3 extra tracks that we have to connect to from here, that'll be some work. They all come from the same place. So, I do wonder if I get these set up correctly right away, because we have the tracks that you see right here, and then it turns out there were 4 extra tracks that I have to get to. These guys, which I could split them up on this side, but if I can give them all their own queuing space without fighting too hard, then I think it'll be totally worth doing that. Why are you colliding? What are you colliding with? What's your problem? If I come from this side, you have no problem at all. If I come from this side, you have no problem at all. Yeah, I don't know what the problem was, but let's just get this done, because this is important. And yeah, 4 extra tracks on this side is a little more than I expected, but hey, if that means my traffic flow is going to be amazing afterwards, then that's what that means, and life is going to be good. Otherwise, it should be the tunnel that I have in the middle here. That's high enough that I can make it even higher if I have to, or lower if I have to, if I need to go underground. But I think it's going to do exactly what I needed to do. That didn't do what I needed it to do. We could totally just turn this into a non-bridge section too, but I'm not willing to do that just yet. Let's see, can I get, there's 2. Yeah, we're probably gonna have a bigger bridge coming out here. 3 and, come on, 4. There you go. So all the pieces that we need, they should connect pretty much to here without complaining to me. Oh, this is great. Yes, I realize we're just rebuilding this, but I think 1, it's necessary, and 2, it's going to be great. That's the outside track. Great. You are you are slightly trying to collide with that tunnel entrance right there. We don't want that. Yeah, if you want to, honestly, this is not going to work with that little piece of tunnel there, because we're going to get to a piece of track that won't want that. Unless we don't. Yes, these are all curving at a relatively slow speed, but if that is all I have to pay for the tunnel to go on top of that, then life is pretty easy. These are the last ones. Oh, what are you colliding with? Oh, this piece of tunnel is simply too short. That's what that means. So what we could do is just extend out the original tunnel a little further, and then we don't have to worry about any of this. How about we just do that? So take all of these pieces back. Just like that. Beautiful. And then make the tunnel that we had there originally just appear again. So raise this high enough. I don't know how high we need it, but just oh, that should be good. Little bubble there. That looks great. And now have you just extend the tunnel that's already here at a speed that's a little better than what we had before. Autosave. I'm busy here. I would like to get all of this in this episode without people leaving me before everything is over. See? Easy enough. Now, I would like some level ground right in front of this so we can actually do something that looks nice. Cool. Smooth it out now. Cool. Very good. Smooth it out over here. Make it look natural. Very natural. Very nice. There's also obviously always a tree gun if we need that for whatever reason. Not sure what happened here. Try that again. Okay, flat, 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 flat. Beautiful. Okay, so that tunnel is huge and is coming out here. And we have two tracks. Two tracks still to figure out where things go. The outside one does not count because it's the exit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the first connection that has to go somewhere, and this is the other connection that has to go somewhere. I have no idea if these will connect appropriately to the things that I need from them, but there's only one way to find out, and that's what we're doing right now. Yeah, lower you a little bit because it's just a tiny bit better, and then you come out here, and then these will just fan out into the different tracks that we have here. Should I do it off of one? Yeah, we should. This is a nice turn, that looks good, and this one may be a little more funky when we're done with it, but it should be fine. And then again, I still like to play this game where I just go to the very end and then find some connection that works. In this case, just go to that first snapping point that you get there. I was going to plan on just time-lapsing this part, but I think, I speak English, it's TH, not an F. This should be fine. Then same thing here, just pull back as far as you can. They may not snap to everything that you care about, but overall they're doing okay, and if we want to, we can just replace the middle tracks here just in a second. Yeah, I will do that. The middle tracks will get replaced because they look humpy. This is not a hump yard, this is just a rail yard. Hump yard would be cool if this game would actually support that, but I see those requests in several different games, and all I can think of is that will be a nightmare to program that, because just having the AI trains do what they're doing right now is already complicated enough. Making it a real hump yard is a whole other level of complications. Okay, have you there? Let's see. Can you come this way? Yes, you can. And then all I need from you is to pretend that there's a relatively straight line here. We're going to use the exact same anchor point on this side. Nope, we're not. We're using a different anchor point on this side because that's how they are connected. Wow. For some reason, it doesn't think that this one can connect that way, even though that's where it started. So what we're just going to do here is a small little cheat and not redo everything. We're just going to redo this piece. That looks perfect. That looks perfect, exactly like I designed it in the beginning. Smooth this all out. That is nice and beautiful and great. Okay, now this is the complicated part. I don't think where the tunnel currently is going to do what I need to do. So that probably just means I have to make these the tunnel entrance a little steeper than this, which is not ideal for coming out of a hub, but needs must. And I did try something earlier, and I know that this will work. Like, we can also just go downhill instead of uphill. That will probably be easy in this case, because making a bridge that goes over these tracks is kind of scary. To about there, too much slope, bridge pillar collision, a lot of problems. Got it. We go up a little bit, bridge pillar collision. Yeah, you don't like that. How about this bridge? Bridge pillar collision, bridge pillar collision. If we go up a little higher, you're effectively floating, and I don't want to come down from there. Nope. We are going to make this another tunnel that goes underneath instead of up. And that should fix all our problems all at once without any issues whatsoever. At least it's the hope. There's this, just come out a little bit. 64 is probably good enough. There you go. And then you, let's see. Just gonna go the cheap way. Just go down and take a dip. Ooh, ooh. All it takes is to take a quick dip. How terrible does this look? You are cutting into there just a tiny bit more than I would like you to. But you're... That's what we're going to do. Doesn't look great. Does it? Does it? No, doesn't look great. It's just a tiny bit off where I want it. So if we can get you out just enough, maybe on the flat, maybe on a dip, another dip. Oh, come on, game. Oh, you want a tunnel right there? No, I don't want you to tunnel there. I don't want you to tunnel there at all. Take that one out, and now... Can you just stay flat? Actually, this is the outside or the inside? It's probably the inside. You can come here, start going down a little bit, and then have you try to connect to that piece of tunnel. There we go. Looks exactly the same, doesn't it? No, this is quite a tiny bit different. Quite a tiny bit different. And acceptable. That is all that counts here. Acceptable. So we need that track, we need this track to come over here. Beautiful. That's connected relatively easily. And then we have this extra track out here. Do I? A track there? Really can't tell. Is there a track or is there no track? There's a piece of track missing here. Was that what we're talking about? I think the outside track that we're seeing right there is the exit track that we care about. Yeah, there's nothing else. So the track that is connected out here, we can release from this command and have you come all the way over here. First, hug that rail, then come out here, connect into there. And I do it like this because that should help a little bit with the transition of the track into the two tracks that we have here. So now none of the exit tracks are actually crossing anything that's going on here. That's good. That's very good. The only problem I will have is I still need to get someone here. If I get a train from the middle two tracks onto any of these tracks, now let's look. Is there any way to connect the outside track to the middle track? Probably not. The outside goes all the way here and there, so effectively all the tracks that are out on the right, which is just the right two, we're not going to be able to get there. What I probably want is one non-ideal crossing. At least it's for exit tracks only, that we don't have to worry about it too much. But what I would like is exactly this, that you come over here, that whichever train I choose, oh gosh, what do you do here? Whichever train I choose, or track I choose, that you can actually make it happen. Oh, come. I was gonna try to keep this junction relatively short, but I'm not sure I'm allowed to do that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, that's good. That's great. That's perfect. And then you can connect straight out here at 120. That looks good. I think it's going to be that track. And then the outside track over here is just going to cross over. And this should be relatively simple connection-wise. I was going to see if I want to give this a little waiting track there, but honestly, I don't think I need it. So, wow, I got a lot of stuff done for only 15 million. And only about 49 minutes real time. That was really quick. I haven't placed any signals yet. I have not replaced the roads yet. So there's still some things to do. It's so close already. I think if I give it the right bridge type, it's going to agree with what I'm trying to do. I said you're going to agree with something. No, it's like, no. What do you think you are? I'm like, I just do it. How about here? Can we make a little bridge pillar collision? It almost looked like it was fine. Collision. I can't even move this around, so that's not going to happen there. If I flatten this out a little bit and let the bridge pillar come in a little sooner, we look like we're really close. I mean, could you do it any better than that? We need electric. Probably don't need a bus lane. Just electric track should be sufficient there. That looks nice. Cool. On this side, yeah, I would like a connection somewhere here, but honestly, this feels like a tunnel going underneath all of this, or I just, oh, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah, this is fine. Keep. We should have a tunnel, or we should have a circle on already. We'll just make a scenic track around what's going on here. That feels good. Right in there, and actually, it may have been a tram track, so we can upgrade that. Oopsies. Actually, give me the tool. Make a tram track and catenary. Yes, you go all the way around here. Now you're connected again. Cool. Interesting. This is not pretty. No, this is not pretty. Go back to here, give me my street, do all the things that we just talked about. You don't have to upgrade, just be a curvy tool. And just run behind here without turning into a bridge. Maybe even flattish. That's good. We can smooth it out later on. That's not a problem. Even a small tunnel right there sounds perfect. And then you come down here. Smoothing tool. Nice cliffside. Oh yeah, that's much better than that ugly bridge that was there before. Okay. Still have to signal this up, and I still have to make it do the right things at the right time. I'm going to do that right now, and when it's back, we're actually going to see some trains running here. Pretty certain about that. Well, overall, I think this was very successful. The trains are still bedding in, but I think they're figuring it out. Let's go a little faster on this. I think they're figuring it out. We're in the negative right now, but I'm not worried about that on the money side. I think I see all trains going, just everything is moving, everything is full. There's a lot of color going on. I can show you the all the track plans and everything. This train in particular has a bunch of trains just waiting here. But there should be more than enough queuing space. I did end up having to put in a couple crossings and diamonds in places because getting it all to work the right way would be a lot of work, and I wasn't going to go there. But again, it feels like most of the trains are moving pretty smooth now, and this is a pretty busy section, as you can see, probably on the left there. But having only one train there, sitting there every once in a while, is not really a problem at all. It's actually exactly what I expected to see. So once we leave the hub, life is pretty good, and this is where we're going right now. This one's going to go up the hill, so eventually it's going to slow down a little bit, but Yeah, I'm just looking here right now to make sure that we don't have any queuing trains or blocking. Nah, we have to fix this at some point. Oopsies. Just ignore that. But yeah, look at this. There's nothing queuing up, nothing sitting anywhere. This guy's taking the trip that it's supposed to take. The Intercity Express probably can use a couple more trains or something faster. I don't know. But yeah, this is working really well, I think. We're also going to get a nice payday when this guy actually drops off, and that is excellent. I don't think we ever taken this route up into the mountains, so we're going to do that. But yeah, full rebuild of the thing that I did the last 2 episodes, rebuild again, and I'm pretty confident we're going to leave it the way it is for now. Hope you guys liked it. Really appreciate you guys. If you like this, like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.